Okay, so we should be recording here, I believe. What I was just mentioning is that I'm going to review Turno today. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. And we're going to talk about, let's see, one second. All right, looks like we've got one more person here that just joined the call. Um, I hope it looks like you just entered into the call. I was just saying to Michael, it's a smaller call today. It's just us so far. So I was just letting him know that I was going to review a software for scheduling cleaners. However, the people that come to the calls get first come, first serve. I will answer any questions you have, or you guys can choose topics too. So if you're able to participate, let me know. If not, you can just stay muted, totally fine.
Um, are you looking for questions in relation to
Yeah, if you
the
have questions,
cleaners or just questions?
yeah, here's what we'll do. Did you have anything specific that you wanted to go over?
Um, well, just to review my calendar a little bit, I've been kind of wondering, like, my most immediate, like the next 2 to 3 weeks, I have bookings, but then from there onwards, it's been quiet.
Okay.
I know I've tried to go onto Price Labs and adjust my pricing. Like I have a 15% discount for 60-day out to encourage far out bookings.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure that I have seen results, although my listing is quite new. I just recently listed in January. So I
Okay.
was hoping if you can take a look and just give me some pointers or ideas.
Yeah, I can. And Michael, I know you're commuting. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if we kind of reverse the order, since Hope does have a specific question, if you're okay with that. Um, I just want to make sure I give you some help, Hope, as we go through here, and then we can kind of review Turno after that, as long as everyone's on board. So,
Yes.
um, if you want to drop your link into the chat, Hope. Okay, fabulous, Michael.
Oh,
Yeah, do you know how to put your link into the chat here?
oh man, I'm terrible at that, and I'm having the call from my phone. Let's
Oh,
see if I can
um,
find it.
the other thing we can do is I can pop your address into Airbnb as a
Yes.
traveler. Okay, let's try that. I'm gonna
Hmm.
open my Airbnb up here and get, also just while I'm working on getting that pulled up, what market are you operating in?
Orlando.
Orlando. Okay.
Yes.
Um, cool. If you are comfortable sharing your address, otherwise I can pause the recording and then put it back on. Let's do
Yeah.
that actually. Um, just so let's do. Okay. So we're back to auditing. So the question essentially is, should should Hope offer a heated pool in the Kissimmee market? And if you're having an extremely high electrical bill, it's like, you know, you're almost either you have to have the heated pool, but you have to charge for it. So there's kind of
Mhm.
two different routes you can go down. Um, this is going to take some research on your end. And what I would
Mhm.
do, if you haven't already, is really understand the comps in the area. So, if you want me to walk through, kind of finding some of your comparable properties near you, we can do that. The reason being is if all of your direct competitors are offering a heated pool and you're the only
Mhm.
property that's not offering it,
Mhm.
you will
Mhm.
likely lose out on bookings. And I
Mhm.
know you've got that super expensive electric bill right now.
Yeah.
But the other part of that research that I would do is
Mhm.
look and see if you can do some digging on your direct comps listings and see if they are
Mhm.
charging for the heated pool access. My
Right.
instinct, I don't know this market really, and I don't. have a ton of experience with pools and heated pools. I'm in Colorado and there's not a ton of pools out here. If you do have a pool in Colorado, that's a huge plus. But um I would try to see if other properties around you are charging for the heated pool as well. And that just takes a little time. Usually fees are listed in people's listing descriptions.
Mhm.
Do some asking questions if you need to. But I would start there with figuring out, okay, if I charge, every guest $50 to heat the pool, can I make up for, the electrical bill and in return fill my calendar because I'm offering the heated pool? Does that make sense?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's, just kind of
But
stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
can it say heated pool and then you charge for it? Or people are expecting when you say heated pool, then it's like it's an amenity that comes with the house.
I see what you're saying. That's a
Yeah.
really, really good question. So the last thing I can tell your instinct is headed towards the direction of you don't want to mislead anybody. And
Mhm.
by making it look like it's a heated pool, but then they have to pay for it, so then they're
Yeah.
thrown off. Here's what my answer is. I advertise that I host pets in my listing title and I charge for
Yeah.
pets. So, just because it's an additional fee doesn't necessarily mean it's n not something that you offer, but you have to disclose any and all fees within your listing.
Hmm.
It's a
Hmm.
it's a bad experience when in your description or another place you can put your um fees are in the house rules down here. This is
Yeah.
viewing the guest, but you can list that stuff. So potential guests have complete access to knowing what they are going to get. And then in your
Hmm.
automated messaging as well, you're gonna
Hmm.
explain that. You're gonna have or your rental agreement if you have a rental agreement. So
Yeah.
that's a long-winded answer to say, as long as you're disclosing what your fees are, you can still advertise that you have and are offering a heated pool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Um, yeah.
and then one actually the guest who is checking in tomorrow, he had reached out to me and was like, so I see you say heated pool, but in my thing, I'm not saying I'm charging for it. Do you charge for it? And I'm like, currently, I'm not charging. However, the pool is heated to a temperature of like 79.
Mhm.
And then, and then I told him, if you want it any higher than that, I might have to charge you extra fee. Now,
Mhm.
that's not listed on my Airbnb.
Yeah.
And so far,
So
he hasn't asked for it. But if he does, that if he wants me to increase it beyond 79, then I'm going to be like, you have to pay per day.
yeah, I think that's fine. It sounds like you're having that conversation with the guest, and if they asked you, do we have to pay a fee? And you told them, the standard of, okay, we heat it up to this amount, if or this temperature, if you want to go any higher, it will be XYZ per day, but you didn't have that listed in your listing description already, it could rub
Mhm.
that guest the wrong way. I think that's kind of a individual situation right now where you either have to decide for this one guest, you're going to just let it go and you're going to say, hey, you know what? I'm a new listing. I'm not going to charge you any extra, for any heating this time.
Mhm.
Obviously, ask them not to turn it up to 100 degrees or whatever. So, um,
Yeah.
and then right now, as soon as you get off this call, get in there into your listing, set your rules so that in the future, it's not
Mhm.
the same conversation. Um,
Yeah.
and that could be a really good way, just because I am looking at your listing here and you've got 2 reviews. It takes 3 reviews to get a rating. You really want
Mhm.
your first 20 or so reviews to be 5 stars if possible. So,
Yeah.
my answer might be different if you were a listing that has been live for a very long time, but um, I think that if you're asking me like what would I do, I think in this instance I would probably say, hey, we leave the temperature at the highest at 79. Um, Ideally, you kind of keep it in that range. Normally, we would charge if it goes above 79, but we're going to make a one-time exception for your stay, and we want you to enjoy
Hmm.
it and have the best time ever. And then maybe they're going to write that. Maybe they're going to say, wow, this just made our stay 5 stars. And
Hmm.
yeah, but get ahead of any other future guests.
And that's my other point. There are people who had already booked
Mhm.
prior
Yeah.
with it saying heated pool with no fees.
Okay.
And
Same
so
thing.
once I add the fees there, I think it's gonna rub them the wrong way.
Yes. So yeah, I'm now I'm remembering. I'm like relating to you now. My brain just came back into action here. I had this happen when we added a hot tub after we had already gone live, and
Yeah.
I chose not to charge anyone any extra fees or raise the rates on them or anything, and instead it was a pleasant surprise. So you might want to do that for any bookings you already have on the calendar. Honor what you already said, and then any new bookings, take that approach of here's our set fees. So,
So should I at least reach out to those who are already on the calendar and let them know that, hey, I'm gonna be posting a fee on my page, but because you booked prior to this, the heating of the pool is still free for you.
yeah, you're asking all the right questions. I don't think that you have to do that because when a guest makes a reservation, whatever
Hmm.
your listing looked like on that day is what
Hmm.
they see.
Yeah.
So, in their trips page on Airbnb, if they go to their trips and they click on your listing, whatever amenities you offered on that day or whatever your rules said the day they booked is what they see. If they
Hmm.
randomly searched the listing again, outside of their trips page on the app, they may
Hmm.
see that it's changed and they could question that. So it's not a bad idea to reach out to them and just let them know, yeah, that, hey, just wanted to give you a heads up. We're offering the pool at a heated, no additional fee. If just wanted to let you know, so just in case you see something different on the listing in the future, we're going to be charging for this or something along those lines. I think you could do that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I also see your point. It's like they already paid their part of it, so it's not like it's going to ask them any additional money.
Yeah,
And so
exactly.
for them, I can just leave the fee as it is.
Yeah, I think so. And you can even phrase it as hope you enjoyed the complimentary free pool heating, or, however you want to kind of spin it to really make the guests feel like they got a deal. Um,
Yeah.
you can kind of think of it that way, and almost like you're
Mhm.
guaranteeing, people love to get anything for free, right? So you're almost
Mhm.
highlighting that in a way of, um, yeah, I think that
Mhm.
they'll recognize that, and it's very unlikely they would go back to your listing and say, "Oh, it looks like now she's charging a fee. Should we ask her?" As long as they don't get charged, then it's not going to be a
Yeah.
problem. Yeah. Um,
Okay.
yeah, really good question. This is just one minor thing, but I think Airbnb, if you're typing in your title, they will like spell
Mhm.
check you. The word ping pong, don't quote me, but
Mhm.
go back into your listing. I think they like the Pong part capitalized, if I remember right, and a dash.
Okay.
Yeah, that is
Okay.
like so minor. It's not going to change
Mhm.
anything, but it might just kind of make.
Bing dash pong.
I think that's how they like it. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
But it'll
Okay.
pop out at you when you edit that. Okay.
And you were thinking to maybe change the Windsor part of it?
Yeah, the only reason being is I think you could potentially use this to highlight a location, or you're pretty close to Disney World. Um, I just don't know. I genuinely don't know if this is a known term. Like if someone is typing, let's just say someone's typing in Google and they
Mhm.
type home with heated pools and ping pong table near Disney World. Most people aren't going to put these specific words into a search engine. So
Mhm.
you may be just missing eyeballs on your listing because of the search engine optimization. I'm not a specialist in any of that in any way, but
Mhm.
it could
Mhm.
be worth uh changing that up, I would say.
Oh, like just coming up with a name like uh okay.
So some examples. I think you're highlighting that it's a heated pool. You've got outdoor game, or maybe it's
Indoor
outdoor
games.
indoor games. Yes. And so you could kind of rephrase it to um, heated pool in large home with ping pong, and then see how many characters you have left. So
Okay.
you're highlighting amenities, but you're also kind of like describing the house itself. I
Okay.
even think using a phrase sometimes like large home instead of
Yeah.
16 guests can be really beneficial for your optimization because it's already calling out that you sleep 16 guests down here. So it almost becomes a little bit repetitive.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. I see.
Yeah. Yep. So just an idea. Um,
And when I'm editing, I don't have to like bring it down and then take it back up again. I can just edit it when it's live.
Correct. Yep. So I'll show you how to do that really quick. Um,
Mhm.
let me look at, I'm going to go into hosting mode. So you'll always want to make sure you're in hosting mode. And then you're going to go to
Mhm.
your listings.
Mhm.
And let's click on one of mine. So you're in, this is the page that you go to edit. And again,
Mhm.
you're in hosting mode. So my listing's live, it's got bookings on the calendar, but I can change this title whenever I
Mhm.
want. So actually, I'm so curious about the ping pong thing. Oh, it is letting me. Usually in the past, it has prompted me to make this. Okay, it's not
Mhm.
changing it for me anymore, so maybe they don't care anymore.
Okay.
Um, but now I want to put that back because I also have a ping pong table. Look at me editing my listing now. Oh, not enough room. Okay, so that's one way that you can edit your listing is just
Yeah.
straight in Airbnb like that or VRBO. Question for you. Do you
Mhm.
use Hospitable or any property management system?
Yeah. I use hospitable. I use I use what is it called? Price Labs. But
Okay.
I was using Turno for cleaning, but I turned that off since I
Okay.
have one consistent cleaning lady.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just
Okay.
left that alone because they kept sending me all these messages, and I was just like, I only
Yeah.
have one property right now. It's not too complicated.
Okay. Okay. I understand.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just for kind of for everyone, other people that are going to watch this call back later, instead of updating titles within Airbnb or VRBO now, you can do that directly in Hospitable. So you're going to go
Okay.
Hospitable properties and you're going to click on the listing that you want to edit and you're going to go to details and then you are going to um put the title right here. And now you can
Mhm.
see Hospitable is telling me that it's locked. I can't edit the title right now because um, I just edited the title on Airbnb. So it has to have a
Mhm.
source of truth. Uh, I can't explain all the technological lingo there, but if you edit it from Airbnb, it's going to prevent you from being able to edit within Hospitable until you I can't remember how you go back to being able to change it in Hospitable. But yeah, see like this is locked because I made an edit in Airbnb probably when I was demonstrating something. So
But I think you're saying if I do, because then if I do it in Hospitable, it's going to change it for both on Vrbo, Booking.com, and
yes, it should. I don't want to speak too soon because I think the VRBO integration is not, I didn't make it to the town hall meeting that Hospitable hosts last week. They were going to talk all about VRBO is tricky because Hospitable is trying to get fully integrated with VRBO to be able to allow you to make changes in just one spot and push it out
Mm-hmm.
to both Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com. I don't think
Yeah.
they're quite there yet, but
Mm-hmm.
I recommend, don't take my word for it, go to Hospitable. And then if you
Mm-hmm.
go down to, I think it's the community, they post all of their latest updates. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and they had just had a town hall. It was, oh, maybe it's coming up. Maybe that's why. Um,
No, I think they had it. I think I was kind of half listening, half not. I think it was either this week, early on Monday, or last week on Friday,
okay. Yeah.
when they were
The,
talking about VRBO, how to add your listing and
yeah.
when it falls up from hospitable and yeah.
Okay. Okay. So watch that back. I need to watch that back too. But I guess just kind of a caveat to what we were talking about with I'm not 100% yet if editing the title in Hospitable will push out to VRBO as well. But
Mhm.
in the near future, that's how it's going to be. So I would avoid
Okay.
making changes within Airbnb if you are using Hospitable, just to train your brain to do it in that management system and just make your life easier. And yeah, have your listings be consistent across the board. So, um,
And then somebody posted on the chat
mhm.
about the money shot.
Oh yes, okay. Okay, Michael. Yes, sorry, I was ignoring the chat here. He said, "Do we feel like the main photo of the pool is the best photo for the money shot?" Let's look. I want to look through the photos. Um,
Yeah.
Michael agrees with Windsor potentially being almost like just a questionable word if it's going to optimize your title. May or may not be the biggest deal breaker, but if it's sticking out to both of us, I think worth kind of changing that. And then, okay, yeah, Michael said the word Windsor would probably confuse him. So, um, Hope, are you familiar with what a money shot is and what Michael means by that?
I think I know what he means. Like your thing that you put out there and everybody's like, gee, I want to rent this house.
Yeah. Yeah. Another way to say it is like your wow picture, um, which it's nice to have a handful of those to choose from to interchange throughout the year. But
Yeah.
exactly, it's like the picture that gets guests to stop scrolling when they're browsing. So guests go like this, and something has to make them stop and click. So,
Yeah.
okay, so I want to go to your pool pictures and see. Is this the Windsor thing, the the rec center, or not the rec center, but the
Uh, I think yeah, that's the one, the fourth one.
okay. Interesting. Is your house on
No.
a resort?
Yeah, it's a resort. Yeah.
Interesting. But it's a single family home.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So it's like single family homes in a community with a community pool
Hmm.
and okay.
And a
Okay.
private pool.
Cool. Yeah. Um I see. I'm getting an idea. Got it, got it, got it, got it, got it. Cool. You've got a grill. Now I'm just looking through all your photos here to see. I kind of like this picture too, even to show off the pool and this little like screened in,
The outdoor seating.
yeah, the outdoor seating area. Potentially as another cover photo to play with. Um,
Hmm.
fun. Let's see. I also really like the um at the top. The living room picture up here. We've got a lot of pictures. Okay, it's a big house.
It
So
is.
yeah, I also like a living room picture sometimes to have as your cover photo, or let me see what your top five pictures are currently. So one living room, a bed, the ping pong table. Oh, you've got this one. Um, yeah, so this could even kind of be switched out as well. I see what Michael is saying with it's like almost the angle of the pool is maybe a little too zoomed in and you can kind of see like the other properties. I almost wish the camera guy went right here and took the
Mhm.
shot from the angle of looking in at the pool. Um, so yeah, this isn't a bad cover photo. It just could be worth it to switch it up a little bit. Um,
Maybe switch it up with the one you're suggesting, the one where we have the dining table and
yeah, you could try that one.
yeah.
Wouldn't hurt just to kind of see if what I like to do when you make a change on your
Hmm.
listing is then go into your insights. So if I go back to hosting and I go to these three lines on the side, um, I think that's where it is. Now I'm forgetting. Okay. Where did it move to? Nope. Here we go.
I think it's still in that three lines, but like, yeah,
Can move it. Wish list, trips, messages, profile, account settings. I am having a total mental blank right now of where to go to see your insights. So instead of wasting your time looking for that, that's what I would do is when you make a change,
Mhm.
check your reviews and make sure, they're not going down. Um, yeah, and that
Okay,
you're
okay,
still, yeah, getting people looking at your listing there. So, uh,
okay.
yeah, so you could try that
Hmm.
and see how that goes. I just want to make sure you've got captions on every picture as well. Looks like you do. Okay, sometimes that's an easy one to kind of fix. Um,
Yeah.
how many stays have you hosted so far?
Mm, let's see. One, two, three, four, five. Five
Okay.
stays. So,
Okay.
like, if you look at January, the entire weekend was booked. So I listed on January 9th, and that weekend, the weekend after, and the weekend after were booked, but weekdays weren't.
Yeah.
And then February, I think I have two bookings that are 4 days. Then one is like a weekend.
Hmm.
The third one, the last week there that's showing up, and the week of the 23rd through the 28th.
Hmm.
One person did inquire, but I declined. He was asking for a discount. He was like, he wanted to do a 3 day stay, asking for a military discount. I'm like, I don't offer military discount, but we could talk a discount depending on the length of stay. And when I just did the math based on the size of the house and the cleaning fee, if he's staying 3 days and I give him a discount, I'm essentially letting him stay for free.
Sure. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And then
Um,
I read his reviews and he had two bad ones.
oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, you trusted your instinct, and I think that's totally fine. If you're not if you're reading the reviews and you're not, sometimes that can be a red flag if someone's just immediately asking for discounts and all the things. So you trusted your instincts, you held your boundary, and I think that's totally fine. I am wondering,
Mhm.
since I don't know this market, and I don't have AirDNA pulled up right now, what is your busy season, your peak
I
season?
wish I would. I think the peak season is March for sure, is spring break. Okay. Okay. Bye, Michael.
I
Um,
just said, yeah.
um, uh, March is like spring break for sure. And then towards the end of school year, because it's near Disney,
Yeah.
as soon as the school session closes, I'm thinking in the summer it should really pick up.
Yeah.
But also it's hot there. But a lot of people go there because of their kids, Disney, and its school is out.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
I encourage you also to just, as you're kind of learning the ins and outs of your property, really get to know peak season versus non-peak season. I'm actually going to see if I'm going to stop sharing for a second and see if I can
Mhm.
get AirDNA pulled up because I want to be able to look and see what the data says. And I bring that up because, That will help you know when you should or should not be uh, kind of offering those discounts. Like if someone asks me for an additional discount, um, sometimes it's worth it, right? If I know
Mhm.
I'm going to go stay vacant anyway, and it's my slower season and the night is likely to go unsold, I'll take anything. Um, but I also don't have a pool. So, it doesn't
Yeah,
cost me as much to host a
you
stay.
don't pay 1,500 in electrical bill. Like
No.
essentially any profit I would have made is going to cover the entire electrical bill. I was like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. That's gonna, be make a difference. So, okay, I want to see if I think this is gonna work. Give me one second here.
What market is your property at?
I am in, sorry, I lost you. I lost you on my Zoom. There you are. I'm in a handful of markets just in Colorado here. So I've got a
Okay.
couple properties in Arvada, which if you've watched the modules, you may hear Arvada mentioned. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's a really great market.
Is it?
Yeah, I really enjoy the Colorado market quite a bit. There's tons of
Okay.
great markets for sure. It's definitely different than like uh kind of these more vacation rental markets. Um
Hmm.
so okay, let's look. I've got AirDNA open here. Let's see. All right. So what I wanted to look at here is this is just Kissimmee in general.
Yeah.
And I don't have any filters posted, with the location or anything like that. But it does look like the average, these are all averages, of course. Average
Yeah.
occupancy is about 60%. Guests on average are booking, over a month ahead of time, about a month and a half. Noted
Hmm.
for you that you're a new listing, so you won't have the average booking lead time because you haven't even been live for 45 days.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So this will become more important for you as you're a
How
newer
many
listing.
days ahead? 44?
On average, it looks like guests are, yeah. I mean, we will take this with a grain of salt because it's just averages, but
Hmm.
in general, it looks like about a month or so out,
Okay.
over a month.
Hmm.
And this is interesting to look at. There are actually national trends right now indicating that ho or guests are just booking more and more last minute than ever
Yeah.
before in like the history of Airbnb. So it looks like
Hmm.
your booking lead time has decreased uh, with within this market about 12%. So people maybe used to be booking 50 to 60 days out, and now it's closer probably to 45 to 30 days out for those people that plan vacations like that.
So I
So
shouldn't technically panic if I'm seeing like, oh my gosh, June is still blank. But the
correct.
thing is, April is still blank. I
Mhm.
have a booking on the first week of April, but after that, April is blank, May is blank.
Yeah. And again, just with you being new, that still makes sense. If the average booker, let's just say 30 days, let's just say, that it's a month out that people book, you're still okay
Hmm.
because you just listed your listing only a few weeks ago. Um,
Yeah.
And also, the first month or so of being live is when the
Hmm.
OTAs are really starting to learn your listing, see if you're getting good reviews, all those things. So, um, once you're more established, I would think more about getting those farther out bookings. Um, and they will come, it'll take some
Yeah.
of the nerves away, I think, once you're, a little more established.
Yeah. Because I was talking to Chris the other day, and my property is like a 7 bedroom house. However, my rent is like 4,000 a month.
Hmm.
And so I was just telling him, I'm like, January, I had all weekends booked. It was my first month, so I wasn't expecting too much, right? So
Hmm.
I think I made like about 2,000, and then I had to top up the other 2,000 out of pocket to pay February rent. But
Mhm.
then I'm looking at February and I'm like, oh gosh, I'm still gonna have to dig out of my pocket to make this rent.
Sure.
Like in my head, I'm thinking at the bare minimum, I should be able to cover rent without having to dig into my pocket.
Yes. Okay. I totally see what you're saying. This is a tricky one because I think this way too with like, budgeting and looking at, what comes in versus what goes out. That is
Mhm.
completely logical. It makes total sense. I had to shift my thinking with revenue as
Mhm.
far as looking, it's harder when you're new, but looking at what I can expect year over year because of
Yeah.
seasonality, So
Uh,
it can be tricky when you're just launching if maybe you're just meeting expenses and your, higher season is coming down the road. So,
mhm.
then your higher season should more than make up for the lower season. So this is the screen that I was wanting to show you because I want you to be super tuned into your specific market. Um, but essentially, you can see that so RevPAR is revenue per available room. It's kind of a hotel term,
Mhm.
but you can think of it as, revenue per available listing. And the darker section is going to be when you can really expect um, more travelers to the area. And
Mhm.
then the
Mhm.
lighter days are going to be where you're maybe a little bit slower. So if
Mhm.
we're looking at the Kissimmee, Orlando market. February is a pretty
Oh, is
strong
that?
month.
Yeah.
Yeah. So travelers are traveling and they are going on the weekends. So it's making sense to me that you're seeing kind of these 4 night stays. You
Mhm.
do have some strong not, I should say, you do have some not weak demand in February during the weekdays. So you could still pull in those weekday stays, and I would be sure to offer length of stay discounts as well,
Mhm.
10% at minimum for week-long stays. And then March, you were spot on with what you were saying with spring break.
Mhm. You know
Expect
what's funny? My calendar for March look exactly like that picture.
amazing,
I have
amazing.
so for one is 4 nights booking, another one is three, then no, and I have two 4 nights bookings, then three, then two.
Okay. Yeah. Um, That's amazing. That's awesome. So the data is telling us that February and March are really your strong months. You're a new listing, so you may not have pulled in the highest rates. Next year is going to be
Mhm.
different, but I want you right now to go into your price labs and make sure next February and March you're not underpriced so you don't
Yeah.
accidentally get, a really far out booking. Um, I made that mistake once and I will never let it happen again where, you forget to manage your calendar 12 months out. So
Yeah.
April looks like again, you're going to have a strong weekend market. There must be something, this mid-April. And then
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure. Same. So you're a very strong weekend market. So you're going to have to work on length of stay discounting to pull travelers in to your listing during weekdays. Another thing,
Mhm.
being a larger listing, you're likely going to host shorter stays. There's a tendency to have shorter stays with larger homes. Not in all
Mhm.
cases, not 100% of the time, but if we look at the guest avatar or the type of traveler, it's, maybe groups of families.
Family reunion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, things like that. So uh,
Okay.
it looks like August, kids go back to school, the heat is too hot,
Mhm.
or, things like that.
Yep.
Labor Day,
Yep.
yeah.
Mhm.
So August, September, October, uh, you're gonna want these months to carry you through these slow months
Mhm.
down here. And
Okay.
we've got Thanksgiving and then Christmas and then January weekends start to pick up again. So hopefully this kind of helps manage just some, expectations and pricing. And you probably did the right thing by not offering a discounted rate to somebody that was asking for it because you're likely, I would say, to fill up in February. So
Okay.
yeah, I think your instinct was right there, especially with the not
Yeah.
so good reviews. But
Yeah. He had like two bad reviews, and I don't know if I just dodged a bullet with one not too long ago,
Yeah.
where she had one bad review and three good ones, and I was like, okay, I'll take you. Actually,
Yeah.
she instant booked. I have instant booking. The only reason I had the chance to deny this one is he didn't instant book. He did an inquiry with a discount. And so then this one booked, and then she was complaining the whole entire time she was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so when she left, I was just like, I hope you don't review anything at all. Just go
Yeah.
silent. And she
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. Usually that's what happens. And we learn from those experiences, right? There's always a lesson to be learned. And yeah, it sounds to me like you were able to take some things away from that. Um, so that's good, right? Trying to see the positive and I call them annoying situations where sometimes
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah,
guess
that's really totally. I took a lesson from that. So when this one is like, I want a discount, and you have three bad reviews, I'm like, no,
yeah.
I'm not. We're not doing this.
Yeah, pat on the back to you. I think that was a wise decision. But yeah, my guess would be that your weekends should fill up here in February. And remembering that you're a newer listing, let's
Hmm.
just really quick do some where did my Airbnb go? I'm gonna move my tabs over
Hmm.
so I can show you. There we go. Here we go. I want to just kind of see how your pricing is comparing to some other listings in the area that also sleep
Hmm.
16 guests. So let's
Yeah.
do that. And I hopefully can give you some thoughts there. Okay, so
Hmm.
we're just going to do this again. Same dates. And okay, I feel like pools are pretty common out there, I'm assuming.
It is, and I think most of them are heated. I just have to go and figure out, do they charge for the heating? I think they do.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, keep me posted what you find out if you can come back to the
Yes.
call next week.
Mhm.
Okay, so we're looking at the dates February 25th to February 28th for homes that sleep 16 or more guests. And
Mhm.
what I want to make sure is that you're not an outlier with price. So right
Okay.
now you're pulling up for about 1100 a night. And
Mhm.
this property that looks pretty comparable. I would say, and is relatively close to yours. And when I say comparable, I mean comparable like amenities wise. They have professional photos. Um,
Yeah.
they're a little bit lower than you. Let's see how many reviews they have. Okay, so they're a new
Mhm.
listing too.
Yeah.
So
Do they have any reviews yet?
just one, it looks like one
Okay.
review. Yeah. So that, this could be a good one. I'm gonna drop the link in here for you if I know you're on your phone, but um,
Yeah.
if you're able to wish this one, I would really watch that listing and see what their pricing is doing because
Hmm.
well, they don't have a pool. It doesn't look like. Um,
No? In Orlando? That's odd.
oh, there we go. There we go. They're just not. They don't have any of their pool pictures out at
Yeah.
their top five. So watch their pricing. You're higher than them, and if it comes down to price at the end of the day when a guest is booking, they
Yeah.
may pick the one that's a little bit cheaper. Then if we go over here to this listing, oh, they have a slide. Let's check this one. This
Mhm.
home has 6 reviews, 5 stars. It's pretty decked out and themed,
Yeah.
and they're priced higher than you.
How
Um,
much? Let's see. I'm
it
trying to
looks
zoom
like,
in.
yeah, they're almost at 1,300 for these
Oh, okay. Okay.
the same nights. Yeah. Um,
And
then
I
let's
I am at 1300, correct?
You're at about 1,177. So
Okay.
closer to 1,100. So you're a little less than this guy, higher than this guy. This property that's themed out, again, I'd say the caliber of listing is pretty similar. Um,
Hmm.
So they're at 926 a night and they have 30 reviews. Ooh, but they have really bad reviews. A 4.5.
I think I know the one you're talking about. There was one that had like somebody toasted them on the property needs to be updated. There was
Yeah.
like just all on the inside.
Yeah. The last thing that you ever want to happen is that your home gets labeled as being in the bottom 10% of eligible listings, that this home is at risk for
Hmm.
being kicked off of the platform permanently. So,
Oh,
uh,
really? Ugh.
yeah. Yes, yeah, it's too bad, but so I would say, obviously this is like a quick overview, not a deep dive in pricing. You're mm,
Mhm.
priced pretty well. Um, you could potentially come down a little bit, but it's not screaming at me that you're way higher priced than other listings that are pretty comparable to yours. So that's
Mhm.
good. It seems like your pricing is in a pretty good spot. Um,
Yeah.
if you want to play around with increasing the discount for length of stays, that would be one idea. Longer length of stays, you could do
So
that.
currently I have it for 15%,
Oh,
60
okay.
days out. Do you think maybe 20? I was thinking of increasing it to like 20.
20% discount for booking early bird. It's hard for me to say what percent you should or should not put because I don't know what that average rate would then end up being for you across the entire
Hmm.
month. Um,
Ah.
so you'll kind of have to look at your own numbers there. And let's say
Hmm.
you did decide to put 20% off.
Hmm.
If you want to do it this way, this isn't a quick way. Go and look then what you are priced at and make sure, your nightly rate isn't accidentally like $50, you
Yeah.
know. Um,
Yeah.
so make sure you understand what your price is. And then I
Hmm.
believe, let's say someone booked a month at that 20%
Yeah.
off. Would you be okay with that as a month? Uh,
Ah, I see.
rate. Yeah. So you got to look at your rates not only for the
Mhm.
night, but for the week and for the month and for the year. So pricing,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's fun, but it can be challenging to kind of get that sweet spot. So,
Oh, for
um,
sure.
yeah, yeah. But with all that said, I think that, yeah, I hope that you get a booking for these coming weekends here. And now we kind of know your seasonality.
One
And yeah.
one last thing.
Mhm.
Would you just scan through my calendar? Like just look through like March, April, May, like just scan through it. And I don't know if